Hello shop folks out there, it's a brand new week, so you guys know what that means. A brand new week with lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm going to be taking you guys along on my adventures to get up to this week. It's Monday and I'm not on work until this evening, so I was able to have a little bit of a lie-in this morning. I then had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast. I just watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music. I was playing with Bear with his favourite rope toy, and then I was just listening to a bit of music, working on some new illustrations that colours I was doing, and reading a little bit more off the eyes. I just tidied up my office and dolls in the house a little bit, and watched some vlogs and TikToks, and some funny dog and cat videos, and some sea lion videos. I love sea lions, they're so cute. I then did some TikToks and posted those onto my TikTok. I then was just working on a little bit of my short story that I've been working on. I had a cup of tea and some more of my custard cream biscuits. I'm loving my custard cream biscuits at the moment. And then I was just sorting out my Bluetooth doll out into a new look, and I'm showing you guys that. Here's my Bluetooth doll's newest look. Starting off with the shoes, she's got these yellow daisy trainers with some laces on and some black netting stockings. She then has this strapped, part-cut, flowery, summery floral dress with this brown belt, and she's got this white jumper underneath, and she's got this double chained necklace and her black hat, and this is the whole look. I then posted that snap I got of my Bluetooth Dolls new look onto my Bluetooth Dolls Instagram account, and then I got myself ready to go off for a walk, and I had my coat on my bag as the weather has been a little bit crazy today. One minute it's been really sunny with blue skies, the next it's been really overcast and looking like it's going to rain and really windy. So I made sure to wear this thin layered jumper to keep myself warm, as it was pretty nippy out there. And I headed off on my walk and was listening to music on my headphones. And whilst on my walk I got some flower snaps and show you guys those. A lovely stroll, I was able to get some really beautiful flower snaps with such lovely colours on. I then headed up to the high street and went off and had like one of the charity shops, and went off to the book shop. I love the smell of all books so much, and they had some Doctor Who books in there and a few books about Coronation Street, so I was having a look at some of those books. And then I went off to one of the craft shops and was having a lovely look around there, and went off into Aldi and had a look at the Best Buy section. I then went off to one of the cafes and got a hot chocolate from there, and I'll show you guys that. The hot chocolates they do in that cafe are so good, and I got in there, and before I even ordered it, the lady on the till said my order, and it was so delicious. I had a caramel hot chocolate, I always have that in there, they're so good. I then got some mirror sauce from there, I'm sure you guys. They've always got such beautiful mirrors and prints and chandeliers in that place. I then went off and had a look at some more of the shops, and then went off to the flower shop and I got some flower snaps from there to show you guys. We've got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there, all the sunflowers and all the roses, and they smell so good, and they've always got such beautiful bouquets. And then I got some plant snaps from there, and I'll show you guys. There's a load of new succulents in, so I was having a look at those. I was able to get some really pretty snaps of all the succulents in cactuses and pretty plant pots. I then had a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there, and they are so lovely. And then I went off to have a look around a few more of the charge shops, and popped in to one of the other cafes where one of my mates who I go to morning group was, and had a nice chat with them. And then I got some mirror sauce from there that I'll show you guys. They've always got really pretty mirrors in there. I always get great mirror selfies from there with all the lanterns and pretty prints. I then went off to get some cash out from the cash point at Tesco's, but unfortunately it's still broken, so I had to go elsewhere, and I went in Tesco's to get a chicken Caesar pasta pot to have for tea after work this evening, and ended up getting some flower snaps from outside of Tesco's. They had a load of trolleys with lots of flowers on, and I got some dahlia and some petunia snaps, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps from there. I then went off back into the high street and went off and had a look around some of the shops and got 2 mirror selfies from one of the Chad shops, and I'm sure you guys. I was then having a look at some of the jumpers they had in that Chad shop. They also have really nice jumpers in that Chad shop, and was this close to getting away with high doll. She was really pretty. She had all her clothes and shoes and accessories, but one of the buttons was missing in the outfit, so I ended up not getting her. And then I went off to Aldi and got myself some chicken Caesar wraps for my lunch, and went off to get the cash out from the co-op cash point, and then went off to One Stop and got myself a drink to have for the rest of the walk back, as it had got quite warm. I got a newspaper and it had a Kylie Minogue article in all about her Netflix series, which is coming out on Wednesday in 3 parts, and I'm so excited to watch that, the absolute icon that she is. I then had my drink on the walk back from One Stop and listened to music on my headphones. I then got home and had my lunch. I had my chicken Caesar wraps and had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and watched a bit of Murder, She Wrote with my mum and a bit of Fantasy Island, and then read the Kylie article in the newspaper. And then my dad took Bear off for a walk. They then got back and I got my uniform ready for work this evening. I'm doing a 6 till close. It's me and Tash, so I know we're going to absolutely slay. And I'm now off to go and write some more of my short story I've been working on, and read a bit more of Off the Ice, and have a cup of tea and some of my custard cream biscuits, and just chill before going off to work this evening, and just read a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from that. It's late on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I had work doing 6 till close, so I got myself ready for work. I then got dropped to work by my dad, gone to work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and got my drink out that I got to have for work. I had some of that, and it was me and Tash on shift, and always love working with Tash. We always smash the closes together, and the orange juice machine had not been used, so didn't have to clean that, thankfully. It was always such a nightmare to clean that, and I get on with a load of cleaning and clothes jobs I could get done, and so on chatted to some of the ruggers that were in, and was running food and drinks, cleaning tables, and then I was just getting a load of the clothes jobs done, like restocking the fridges and cleaning the cutlery, putting clean plates and glasses away. We then had a craft group come in that my mum normally goes to, but she's not been very well at the moment, so I let them know that my mum wasn't going to be attending and that she would be back when it comes back the next week. And then I was just running lots of food and just cleaning lots of tables, and then me and Tash fished at about 10ish, clocked out, and I got picked up by my mum. I then got home, got into my PJs, and then for tea I had a chicken Caesar salad, and I'll show you guys that. The chicken Caesar salad that I had for my tea was so delicious, and I put my dirty work clothes in the wash. I'm now not in work until Friday evening, so I have got a few days off, and I'm going to be going to the garden centre tomorrow, and it's supposed to be really bad weather, and I was just going to walk out, just wear a coat, just a little bit of rain. But one of my regulars was in this evening, and he said he's got to go up there anyway to get some stuff for his fish tank. So I'm going to be meeting him at my workplace where he's going for coffee with one of his mates, and then he's going to be taking me up to the garden centre, which is really sweet of him. So I'm meeting him and we're going to be heading off there, probably treat him for a bit of coffee and a cake to say thank you for dropping me up. And yeah, looking forward to that. I love the garden centre, as you guys know, it is my happy place. I then finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and just read some more of Off the Ice. I had a cup of tea and some of my custard cream biscuits. I'm going to have to get some more of those. They are my favourite biscuit at the moment. They're just so good. And I'm now off to go and watch today's home away and UK soaps, and I've set my alarm to be up early to go off and meet my mate to go off to the garden centre, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up early ready to go off to the garden centre, my happy place, and I got showered and changed. I then had some lemon curd toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, and my mum and myself were just watching a little bit of TV, and I was playing with Bear, and I had his favorite toy which he loved. I was playing with him with that, and then I got myself ready to go off to the garden centre. I took my coat with me as it was nice and sunny with blue skies, and it was supposed to be raining, so I didn't want to be getting caught in the rain. So I had my coat with me, and I got my headphones on, put my hat on as it was quite sunny with blue skies, so I didn't really want to be burning my scalp. And then I headed off on my way up to the garden centre, and on my way up there I was listening to music on my headphones, and I got myself a drink for the walk up there from one stop and had that on the way up. I then got some flower starts whilst on my walk up to the garden centre, and I'll show you guys those. I had a lovely stroll up. I was able to get some really pretty flower starts whilst on my walk up to the garden centre, and even got a really cute selfie with some yellow roses. I then got up to the garden centre and I managed to get there before the rain started. I literally got into the garden centre as it started to lash down with rain, so I timed it perfectly. I then headed off to the home section first of all and got some snacks from there to show you guys. That home section is so adorable with all the tote bags and the pillows and blankets and vases, and those vases with the vegetables on are so cute, and the tulip mugs as well. I then went off to have a look around at the flower section and got some flower snaps. I got lots of dahlia and sunflower and rose snaps, some of my favourite flowers to get snaps of, and I love all the beautiful colours and patterns on those flowers, and it smells so good with all the fresh flowers. I then went off to the plant section and they expanded it a little bit more, so there's a lot more to the plant section now, so I was having a look around there and got some plant snaps. I was able to get lots of snaps from the plant section of all the succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned leaves and plant pots, and then I got some selfies from some of the mirrors. Those mirrors are so cute. I love a mirror selfie, as you guys know. And then I was looking at the clothes section they have at the garden centre, where I actually got this top last year, and then was chatting with one of my mates who works in the garden centre, having a nice catch up with them. I then got some bits from the sweet section. I got some sweets and some more rose lemonade, and I'll show you a clip of that. I got some more rose lemonade. This time I got a bigger bottle. I love this stuff, it's so good. And got some watermelon fizzy sweets and some more jelly beans. Jelly beans are probably my favourite type of sweets, they're so good. I'm glad I brought my backpack with me and not my crossbody bag this time, as that bottle of rose lemonade would not fit in my body cross bag. And then I got some more flower snaps just before heading off, and I'll show you guys those. I love flower photography so much. I find it so therapeutic, especially the dahlias with all the beautiful colours and patterns on. I then got some selfies in front of some of the dahlias and sunflowers and roses, and then made my way back. And while on my way back from the garden centre, I was listening to music on my headphones. I then got back and I sat at my desk writing a bit of my journal entry for today, just a bit of music, and ended up getting a mirror selfie sat at my desk with my golden mirror with the bow on, and I'll show you guys that. That mirror was such a good purchase. I got that from TK Maxx a few months back and I just love it. It's such a beautiful mirror. I then had some lunch, and for my lunch I had some jam sandwiches with a cup of tea and some biscuits, and was reading a little bit more of Off the Ice, working on some illustrations and colours some of those in. I then got changed into this t-shirt as it had warmed up a little bit and the sun had come back out. The weather has been very wild today. 1 minute really sunny and blue skies, the next minute really dark and chugging it down with rain. It just cannot make its mind up. And then I watched Mamma Mia, such a great movie, probably one of my favourite musicals. Me and Tash both love that movie. And then I watched Escape to Country and a little bit of Fire Brown and Garden Rescue, and had another cup of tea and some biscuits, and was playing with Bear with his rope toy. And then my dad took Bear off for a walk, and my mum had gone off to my grandma's, which she does most Tuesdays. My mum got back from being at my grandma's, and then my dad got back with the dog, and I'm now off to go and read some more of Off the Ice and just chill before going off to Jigsaw this evening. And we're going to be heading off to a farm, which is going to be very exciting, and the weather's supposed to be staying dry this evening, fingers crossed, and it's supposed to be nicer for the rest of the week, and that'll be good as I'm off into town with Tash tomorrow for a bit of a mooch, and I will see you with a bit more to vlog when I'm back from Jigsaw this evening. It's late on in the evening now, and I'm back for being at Jigsaw volunteering that I do on Tuesday evenings. So I got myself ready to go off to Jigsaw, and my dad dropped me off to Jigsaw, and I met the lady who runs the Jigsaw sessions, and she was taking me and one other of the Jigsaw members to the farm where we were going to for the evening's activities, and we headed off to go to this farm. I met the others there. They got brought there by their parents, and one of the ladies who also volunteers alongside me was there, and we then went inside and we got to get talked about the different animals they have there, and then got shown some of the animals, and we got to see some of the goats and the guinea pigs and the hens and some of the rabbits, and I got some snaps of some of the animals in their little pens, and I'll show you guys those snaps I got. Really good look around, and then unfortunately it started to rain, so we headed inside, and they brought in some of the guinea pigs with little beds, and we fed them lots of lettuce. They love lettuce, and they remind me of shredders, as it's like putting paper into the shredder and then it's gone like that. It was insane. I'd never seen them eat that quick, and they were chirping away. And I used to have guinea pigs, and I love guinea pigs, they're so cute. And then we had some drinks and some biscuits, and there was a pool table, so the kids were playing with the pool table whilst the rain was going on. And then the rain stopped, and we went out again and were able to feed the goats some leaves, and the one which was the top dog, the alpha, kept butting the other goats out of the way to get the food first. And then we saw some of the massive rabbits, and my family friend had one, and they are literally humongous. It was then the end of the session, and we thanked them for a lovely time at the farm, and then the parents came and collected the others, and then I got dropped back by the lady who dropped me to the farm, who runs the groups, and I thanked her for a lovely session. And it's not on until not next week but the week after, as it's going to be half term for the week. There's only 1 week of half term this week, normally there's 2. And then I got changed back into the t-shirt that I had on before going off to Jigsaw volunteering, and then for my tea I had some pizza, and I'll show you guys that. The pizza that I had for tea was so delicious. And then I was watching Interior Design Masters with my mum and dad, and I'm now off to go and get into my PJs, finish my journal entry for today, put that away, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home Away and UK soaps, and just see you for more vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up, showered and changed, ready to go off and meet Tash and Jazz to head off into town, but I wasn't meeting them until later on, as Tash had a driving lesson with her dad in the morning. So I was watching a bit of TV and had some toast with a cup of tea. I was playing with Bear out in the garden with his favourite rope toy. It was a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. My dad was fishing that he does most Wednesdays, so Bear was a little bit of an edge. He always gets a bit funny whenever Dad is out fishing, or if he's at work and has to work a little bit later. He's very attached to our dad, bless him. And then I was listening to a bit of music, reading some more of Off the Ice, and had a cup of tea and some biscuits. Worked on some illustrations and coloured some of those in, and I was just tidying up my office and dolls and dollhouse. And then my mum got up and we were just watching a little bit of Homes Under the Hammer, and then I got myself ready to go off for a walk and enjoy this lovely sunshine and blue skies, and had put my hat on as I didn't want to burn the scalp. Had given my head a bit of a shave after having my shower this morning, and then headed up to the high street and was listening to music on my headphones, and I went off and had a look at some of the child shops, went into Aldi and to one of the book shops. I love this one of old books so much. And then I got myself a peach iced tea from one of the cafes in the high street. I'll show you guys that. They do the best peach iced teas in that cafe. I was having a lovely chat with the people working in there. They're so friendly. And then I went off to one of my favourite little shops to go into which always sell really cool craft bits and prints, socks, stationery, mugs, all things that I love, and always have a great time looking in there. I've got some snaps of some of the setups they have in there of all the pretty displays, and I'll show you guys those. The shop's so cozy, and I always have a lovely chat with the shopkeepers in there. I then met up with Tash and we went off to the New Jasons and I got a drink from there, and then we headed off and then I got some more of the child shops where I got this Claudine Wolf doll. She's so pretty. She has this really pretty patterned t-shirt and some cheetah print trousers in this lovely purple colour with a gold belt and necklace and some gold hoop earrings on her ears. And I love the hair with the plait, and the plait that goes on the middle with all the pink in her hair, the curls, such lovely long hair. Such a great doll find from the child shop. I was either going to get that one or an OMG doll, but I ended up picking that doll instead. We then headed back to Tash's flat and chilled there for a little bit, and then Jazz came along and we headed off into town, and the weather turned and it started to rain. It wasn't supposed to be raining, it was supposed to be overcast but dry. I didn't have a coat with me, so I got a little bit wet. We then made our way into town, and the first thing we did was head off to get some lunch from McDonald's. I had a Big Mac meal with some fries and a strawberry milkshake, and got a hot pie from there, and I'll show you guys that. The McDonald's that we had for lunch was so delicious. We then chilled in there for a little bit and waited for the rain to pass, and they were playing some really good music in there. We then headed off to have a look around some shops. Went into Blue Banana and to a game shop and a HMV and to some other shops, and I went off to Sparks. It's a really cool creative centre where they have lots of independent shops and lots of arts and craft bits, prints, mugs, socks, clothes, and really cute mirrors. And I got some mirror stats from there that I'll show you guys. They've always got such cute mirrors in there. I then had a look around some of the little stores they have with some independent shops. They have really cute jumpers and craft bits that people have made, and I got some snaps from this retro stool that had really cute lunch boxes and dresses with TV characters on from our childhood, like Noddy and Barbie and Puss and Pat, and really cute vibrant bits of like crockery and things like that they've made, and I'll show you guys snaps I got from there. It's taken me back to my childhood. I love all the little crafty bits. Those stores are so cute. I then ended up getting some more mirror selfies, and I'll show you guys those. I was able to get some really pretty mirror selfies from that shop. They have such beautiful mirrors. And then we headed off to HMV, and Tash and Jazz went in there, and I went next door quickly before joining them in HMV to this vintage shop that was closing down. Really sad. I love that clothes shop, and everything was for £10 as there was a clearance. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything that really took my fancy, but I just had a good look around. I then got a mirror selfie from there, and I'll show you guys that. I then joined Tash and Jazz back at HMV, and we were looking at the vinyl section and some of the Lady Gaga vinyls, and then Tash and Jazz headed off to go to Damage Society, this clothes shop that they love to go to, and I headed off to go to the flower shop. Unfortunately, when I got there it was shut, so I then just headed off to R2's, this amazing cake place that I was going to be meeting Tash and Jazz at, and I got a bit of carrot cake and a chai latte and just waited for them to arrive, and I'm sure you guys that. It was so delicious, and I got chatting with the people working on shift in there. They're so lovely in there. And then Tash and Jazz arrived, and they'd got some cake and drinks, and we sat in one of the booths and had our cake and drinks. I then popped to the loo just before heading off and got 2 mirror selfies from that shoe. The mirror in that bathroom is so cute, and they also have really quirky things around the mirror. They've got a clown in there at the moment, and I didn't realise the clown was in there, and it almost gave me a heart attack. Then me and Tash and Jazz headed off to the Socktopus shop, this really cute sock shop, and I got some socks from there. I'm sure there's a clip of those socks I got. I got some socks from Socktopus, this shop dedicated for all things socks, and I bloody love going in there. Me, Tash and Jazz went in and I got a few pairs of socks, and they gave me this little cute bag that says Socks Plus and it says we love socks, that we do. And then inside here are the socks. The first pair I got was a pair of Scooby-Doo socks. I love Scooby-Doo so much and they're so cute. They're purple and blue. And then these two Doctor Who pairs. I love Doctor Who, as you guys may or may not know. I'm a massive Whovian and can't wait to wear these to work. I'm known at work in the summer when I've got my work shots on for my funky socks, so can't wait to show them off to the customers and my colleagues. Me, Tash and Jazz had an absolute field day getting socks from there. We then went off to this vintage clothes shop across the road from there and had a look from there, and I got 2 selfies from there, one on my own and then one with Tash and Jazz, and I'll show you guys those. They've got some really cute clothes in there. I was having a look at the jumper section and the mirrors are so cute. We then made our way back to the bus stop and I had to get some bits from Sainsbury's just by the bus stop. So I head off there to get those things and then headed back to meet Tash and Jazz at the bus stop and ended up falling over. Got new shoes, so I'm just trying to get used to them and caused me to fall over. Luckily I was okay, dusted myself off and carried on. And I met Tash and Jazz at the bus stop. We then made our way back and I went off back to Tash's for a little bit and then made our way home. And whilst on my way home I was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies. The weather had changed by the later part of the afternoon and had got nice and sunny again, thankfully, and I dried off quickly. I then got back and my older sister was over and my dad got back from fishing and took Bear for a walk, and he got fish and chips whilst on the way back from fishing, and I had some chicken and chips. I haven't had chicken and chips from the fish and chip shop in so long and it was so delicious. I was absolutely starving on the way back from being in town and absolutely demolished it. My older sister stayed for a little bit more and we were chatting about touch rugby that comes back tomorrow evening, and I'm so excited, and Tash is even going to be coming along, which should be really fun. And then she headed home, and just before leaving I showed her the socks I got from the Socks Plus and the doll that I got from the child shops, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and then I'm going to watch today's Home Away and UK soaps and watch the new Kylie 3-part documentary series that comes out today. And I listened to Light Up, the song she did for the series, and it's so good and I'm so excited to watch that. I shall see you more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday and I got up after a little bit of a lie-in. I then had some cereal for my breakfast, watched a bit of TV, and just listened to a bit of music and was playing with Bear out in the garden with his favourite rope toy. I then got myself ready to go off to the garden centre and headed off to get the bus to the garden centre, and was listening to music on my headphones on the way up to get the bus to the garden centre. I then got to the bus to head off to the garden centre, and the bus was ages away and was going to be a little bit of a wait, so I decided to not go to the garden centre today and save that for next week, and instead I just went for a lovely stroll. I was enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies and listened to music on my headphones, and then headed down to my town's castle and had a lovely walk around my town's castle's grounds, and they're so beautifully kept, and saw and chatted to one of my mates who works there. And then I got some snaps of the castle and I'll show you guys those. I know I said it before, but I feel so lucky to be able to have the castle right on the doorstep to where I live, and always love going and exploring the castle. And I then head off into the gardens, which are always so beautiful with lots of lovely flowers, and it smells so good. There are these pink flowers that smell so good, and they just cut the grass, and fresh cut grass is one of my favourite smells. And I got some flower stats from there that I'll show you guys. I was able to get some really pretty flower stats from there, lots of roses. I love all the yellow and pink roses all over the castle, it's so pretty. I then headed inside of the castle and went to the lounges where you can have afternoon teas, and I've had afternoon teas there before, or you can just pop in for a coffee or a tea and a biscuit, and I got some snacks from the lounges that I'll show you guys. The lounges are so beautiful with all the fireplaces and the tapestries and chandeliers and all the big arched windows with all the stained glass windows. I was having a lovely look around there. I then got 2 mirror selfies. I got one mirror selfie from the lounge and another one from the bathroom that I popped to on the way out. And I'll show you guys those mirror selfies I got. They're such beautiful mirrors. I then made my way up to the high street and went off to get myself some lunch and got my lunch from Tesco's and saw and chatted to one of my mates who was at Tesco's and got some flower stats from the flower section, and I'll show you guys those. We've also got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there. I then headed back and went off and had a look outside the Chad shops. Almost got that OMG doll that I was going to get the other day, but I didn't in the end, and someone had nicked her shoes, which is a bit of a bummer, otherwise I probably would have got her. I then went off to Aldi and had a look at the Best Buy section, popped to the book shop and to TC Joe's and to one of the craft shops. I was having a good look around there. I then got back and I had my lunch and I had some chicken stuffing sandwiches with some tangy cheese cravers, which are the new cravers that they're doing at the moment, which are so good. I had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I then watched this Netflix movie called Along for the Ride, and my dad had taken Beth for a walk and my mum was out for lunch with my grandma, which they do on Thursdays. My mum then got back from being out for lunch with my grandma and my dad got back from taking Beth for his walk. I then was just working on some illustrations, coloring some dozing and listening to a bit of music. I was reading a bit more of Off the Ice and then a cup of tea and some custard cream biscuits, and I'm now off to go and finish working on a bit of my short story that I've been working on at the moment and just chill before going off to touch rugby this evening. It's the first touch rugby session back after it was on a little bit of a hiatus. Now it's up and running again and I'm so excited to get back to touch rugby, and you'll see with a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from that later on. It's late on in the evening now and I'm back from being at the first touch rugby session back of the season. I got ready for touch rugby and my older sister picked me up. My younger brother also came along as well. He came over after work and then met us down at the pitch, and we got there and helped set up, get the cones all out, and we had a really good turnout. My older brother's girlfriend was also there to play, and it was really great to play against her and get to play rugby with them, as I haven't done that before. And I was a little bit rusty to start with, a little bit nervous as I hadn't played for a while, so we were chucking the ball around a little bit to kind of warm up and get back into it. And then Jen and the kids came along and so did Tash, and Jen's son Jacob joined in, and I made sure to be on the same team as him so I could show him how it's done and help him. So Jen at the end thanked me for looking out for him, and everyone was really good with the younger ones, making sure they weren't being too rough with them, and it was so much fun. We had quite a lot of people come and join, so we had 3 games across the pitches, so we were just changing who we were playing against, and I didn't manage to fall over at all. Thankfully I managed to stay on my feet. I almost scored a try and I was that close to the try line, but then the second time I managed to dive and actually do a roll on the try line and managed to score a try. And then at the end, my older brother's girlfriend Zoe got a photo of us all together, and I'll show you guys. It was such a great first session back. My legs are absolutely killing me now. And then afterwards, me, Jen, Tash and the kids went off to get a chippy tea and then sat on some grass and a little bit of a chippy tea picnic. And Jazz came and joined us, and she'd got herself a Domino's, and I had some chips with some curry sauce and got an apple tango, and I'll show you guys that. The chips were so delicious, and the curry sauce from that fish and chip shop is so good. And Jen had gone off to Co-op and got some puddings, so we had some wing donuts and some yum yums, and then we just chilled there for a little bit, and then Tash and Jazz stayed a little bit longer, and then me, Jen and the kids headed back, and Jen dropped me back, and I got home and got showered and changed, got into my PJs, and my older sister was over, so I was chatting with her about how well the first session had gone, and my mum and dad were congratulating me on my try, and then my older sister headed home. I did finish writing my journal entry for today, put that away, and finished off 2 new illustrations. I'm going to show you guys those. Here are 2 of my new illustrations that I'm going to be showing you guys. Starting off with this one here. She's got this long flowing hair with some space buns, and then this side fringe with these bits curling around here. She then has this necklace, and she's got such a pretty face. I love the winged eyeliner. The eyes are one of my favourite things to do in my illustrations. Then she has this off-the-shoulder gown with sparkles and this ruching bit here. She's got some gloves on, she's got a ring on and a black handbag. And then on to this one here, she's got this long, like, flicky hair around here, and then some spiked earrings and a pom-pom earring, a pearl necklace. And then she's got this shoulder-padded shirt with a collar and a bow, and then this heart-cut striped pantsuit with this black belt, and then she's got some sparkly shoes and some acrylic nails, and she's got a ring on. And again with the face, I love the lashes and the eyes. I love drawing the faces on my illustrations. They're one of my favourite things to do with my illustrations. I love all the little details on those new illustrations. I'm going to be colouring them in with some new colouring pens that I've gotten. Can't wait to colour those in. I then was listening to a bit of music and had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and was reading a little bit more of Off the Ice. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps. I shall see you for more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday and it's the end of the week and almost the weekend, and I got up early ready to go off to morning group. I had some breakfast, I had toast and a cup of tea, watched a bit of TV and just listened to a bit of music. I then had some bear cuddles and was playing with him out in the garden with his favourite rope toy. And then my mum dropped me off to morning group. I got to morning group and it was just me and 2 other of the morning group members, as the 2 other members of the morning group aren't very well at the moment, wishing them a speedy recovery. And one of the members of morning group was off at Disneyland Paris last week, so she was telling us all about that and showing us photos that she'd got whilst there. And I'm off there in October with Tash, Jen and the kids, so I'm very excited about that. And she was telling me about all the rides and the must go on rides and some hacks on what to do when there, and I was finding it very fascinating. We were then doing some baking, and I always love doing baking at morning group, and we were making some burgers. We made the patties and then got those put in the oven, and then we had a tea and coffee break and had some biscuits, and I had a cup of tea and some custard cream biscuits. I bloody love a custard cream biscuit. And then I went out into the garden whilst we were on our break, whilst the burgers were cooking. I got some flour stats on there, I'm sure you guys. The garden is so beautiful, all of the pretty flowers. I was having a lovely walk around the garden, getting some flower stats. I was able to get some really pretty flower stats of the dahlias, those yellow and red dahlias, the yellow one with the white spots on, and the pink roses. They're just so pretty. I then got a selfie from the side of the house with all these pink roses climbing all over the house, just so stunning. Then we finished off the burgers by adding a little bit of lettuce and tomato. I'm not a big fan of tomato, so just added some lettuce to mine. And then it was the end of the session. I got picked up by my mum, we then got back, and I got a clip of the burgers that I'm sure you guys. Here are the burgers that we made at morning group. We made the patties and then added some lettuce, and then I got some burger cheese. Went back at home that we had in the fridge and added that to the burgers. I can't wait to tuck into these, they look so good. The burgers turned out really well, and I had one for my lunch with some tomato sauce and added some burger cheese. And then me and my mum were watching a bit of Bargain Hunt. I then went off for a walk to enjoy the lovely sunshine and blue skies, wore my hat so not to burn my head, and then I was listening to music on my headphones. I then popped to the shops to get a drink for work this evening, and then got some more custard cream biscuits, and then got back and I had a cup of tea and some of my custard cream biscuits, wrote a bit of my journal, read some of Off the Ice, and then watched Ever After, probably one of my favourite films of all time. I know the film word for word, it's just one of my comfort films, I love it so much. I then played with Bear out in the garden, and I'm now off to go and work on a bit more of my short story and just chill before going off to work this evening, and to see you with a bit more to vlog when I'm back from that. It's 8 on in the evening now, and I'm back from being at work. I had work doing 5 till close. I got myself ready for work and then got dropped to work by my older sister, who had popped over, and I wished her a lovely time on our holiday. She was off to Athens. I then got into work. I got clocked in and put my bag away, and it was just me on front of house on my own between 5 and 6. Tash had been on a split shift and she wasn't back until 6, and we were going to have another colleague in at 5 as well, but she ended up having the evening off as we didn't have any bookings and it wasn't going to be that busy. We had my manager and my boss in kitchen, so if I needed them I could get them, and it was pretty calm luckily, so I was just getting on with some cleaning and clothes just to get done, running some food and drinks, did some food and drink orders and some wines and pint pouring, and was cleaning tables outside. And it was a lovely sunny evening, so we had lots of people sat outside for drinks, had the umbrellas and deck chairs up, and I got to pick the playlist, so I was putting on some nice summery vibe music. And then Tash got in at 6 and I'd already done quite a few other clothes jobs, taking those off as I went, and was just running some food and drinks, cleaning tables, and so on, chatting to some of the regulars. And my boss finished and had some drinks with my head chef and his girlfriend, and some of our colleagues and past colleagues were out there, so I was chatting with them. And then I was just doing the front and back bar and just cleaning lots of tables and just smashing out the place and cleaning jobs. And me and Tash always worked so well together, absolutely smashed the clothes and cleaning jobs, and finished at about 11ish. We had our regulars in that were the last ones in, and I played a bit of Kylie at the end and was listening to Locomotion. I was cleaning the last few tables, doing glass wash and polishing some cutlery and putting some clean plates and cups away. And then we fished and I clocked out, got my bag, thanked Tash for a great shift. I'm working with her again tomorrow. And then I got picked up by my dad. I then got back, got into my PJs, and then I had my tea. And for my tea I had a mac and cheese. The mac and cheese I had for my tea was nice and cheesy, just how I like it. And I'm now off to go and finish my journal entry for today, put that away, and then watch today's home away and UK soaps. And I've got my clean uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing a 9 till 3, and then I'm going to be reading some more of After Ice and receive more to vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely weekend. I had work doing 9 till 3. So I got myself ready for work. I had some toast and a coffee for my breakfast and watched a bit of TV. I was then just playing with Bear out in the garden with his favourite work toy. It was a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. I then got dropped to work by my dad, and I got up to work early so I could get myself a drink from the corner shop just before work, and then popped to one of the flower shops and got some flower starts on there to show you guys. They've always got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there, with lots of lovely roses and sunflowers and beautiful coloured flowers. I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there, and then got some plant snaps from there that I'm show you guys. I was able to get some really pretty plant snaps from there. They had a load of new succulents in, so I was getting snaps of all the succulents in cactuses, pretty patterned leaves and plant pots. I then got to work. I got clocked in and put my bag away. I got my drink out to have for work that I got just before work. I had some of that and then helped open up, and it was just me and one other colleague on shift to start with. And then at 10, Tash and one other of our colleagues came in, and I was just mainly on floor, running lots of food and drinks, cleaning tables, and so on, chatting to some of the regulars, and was cleaning tables outside. We had lots of people sat outside as we had the deck chairs out and had the umbrellas up, and everyone was enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies, and it felt like summer. And we had a great playlist playing, and I had a great team on, and we absolutely smashed the shift. And then I was just cleaning lots of tables, and we had quite a lot of big groups in, lots of people having lots of cocktails and milkshakes and smoothies, and I was doing some food and drink orders and drinks making and wine pouring and lots of pint pouring. And then I finished at about 2ish as it had quieted down, and then I clocked out, got my bag and got changed to the top I'm wearing now. And then I sat and had a chat with Tash, who had finished as she was back in the evening. She was on a split shift and she got some lunch, and I got a selfie of her with some yellow roses and white roses just by the window out in the courtyard to our workplace. And then I headed off and got myself a Greggs from there, and I got a cheese onion big and apple juice that I had on the way back, and got this cream finger. I sat and had that, and it was so delicious. And then I made my way back, and whilst on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, just enjoying the sunshine, having a lovely stroll back, and then popped to one stop to get myself a drink for work tomorrow. And for tomorrow evening, as I'm doing a split shift, I'm doing a 9 till 3, 7 till 10. And then I got home and I was watching a little bit of Farrah Brown, had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and then for my tea I had some bacon and egg baguettes, and I'm sure you guys, it was so delicious. I was then just playing about out in the garden with his favourite rope toy, and got 2 roast ups from the garden, and I'm sure you guys those. The roses on those rose bushes have come out so beautifully, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be reading some more of Off the Ice. And I'm currently just sat out in the garden where I'm filming for you guys with a cup of tea, just enjoying the last bit of sunshine of the day, and we'll see you more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely Sunday rest. I got up early ready for work. I work doing 9 till 3. I'm on a split shift, so I'm doing 9 till 3, 7 till 10. And I had some breakfast. I then watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and just chilled before work. I had some bear cuddles. I was playing with him out in the garden, and it was a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. And then I got dropped to work. I got into work, got clocked in and put my bag away, and got my drink out that I got to have for work. I had some of that, and it was just me and one other colleague on shift to start with, and I helped open up. And then I was just running some food and drinks, doing some food and drink orders and drinks making, even did a few coffees. And I'm getting quite good on the coffee machine now. And someone tried to some of the burgers, and was cleaning tables inside and outside, as we had quite a lot of people sat outside with the deck chairs out and umbrellas up, enjoying the sunshine. And then Tash came on at 10, and I was just running lots of food and drinks and doing some deep cleaning jobs when it was quiet. And then it got quite busy again, and I was making lots of coffees and pouring lots of pints and doing lots of wines, and we got lots of milkshakes and smoothies. And then we had 2 power cuts, which was very annoying, and so it kind of halted everything. And then luckily the power came back on, and from then on the power stayed on, thankfully. And we had quite a busy lunch rush, lots of people coming in for lunch, had a few bookings, so that kept us busy. And then Tash got to finish early as she was back in the evening. She was also on a split shift like me. And then I finished at 3 and I clocked off, and I just wanted to massive clean up just before leaving. And typically as I was about to leave, I had a load of people coming in, so I was quickly doing some pint pouring before leaving. And Jazz came on at 3, she's doing 3 till close. It's me, Tash and Jazz on this evening, gonna absolutely slay shift this evening. I then got changed into this t-shirt that I'm wearing right now, and then headed off to Aldi and got myself these chicken tikka wraps for my lunch, and then got a peach tea from one of the cafes, and I'll show you guys that. The peach tea they do in that cafe is so delicious. I sat and had that in there, I was just chilling, and then I made my way back. And on my way back, I was listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the lovely sunshine and blue skies, and got some flower snacks and show you guys. Had a lovely Sunday stroll, enjoying the sunshine. I was able to get some really beautiful flower snacks, lots of beautiful roses. And I got back and I got my cleaning uniform ready for work this evening for the second part of my split shift. And then my older sister was over, so it's my older brother, and he went off and picked my grandma up to come over for tea, and we were having a barbecue, and my dad was getting that ready, and it smelled so good. I was done playing with Bear out in the garden, and I had a cup of tea and some biscuits, and read a bit more of Off the Ice. Then I was working on some more of my short story, writing a bit of my journal entry for today, and then we had the barbecue, and I'll show you guys that. The barbecue was so good, and then we were just playing some games, and I'm now just going to be chilling before going off to the second part to my split shift this evening. And I'll just do a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from that. It's 8 o'clock in the evening now, and I'm back from being at the second part to my split shift. I was doing 7 till 10, but in the end, Tash messaged me to say to come in at 7:30 instead, as I wasn't needed until a little bit later on, so I was able to chill for a little bit longer. I then got ready to get back to work, and then my younger brother dropped me back to work. I got clocked back into work and put my bag away and got a drink to have on shift. It's so warm out there at the moment, and I do not do well with this heat. We had all the windows and doors open to get a bit of airflow, and it's me, Tash and Jazz on shift, and one of my colleagues, Karis, had done a banana bread, and I had a little bit of that, and it was so delicious. She did some muffins for me for my birthday last year. I might ask if she could do me some of that banana bread, as I love a bit of banana bread. We had a great team on, a great playlist playing, so I caught myself singing along to some of the songs whilst cleaning tables, and I was cleaning tables inside as well as outside. It'd been quite busy with the sunshine, and so I was putting lots of glasses through glass wash and getting glasses put away, washing cutlery and putting cups and plates away, and someone chatted to some of the workers, and we had a lot of people in for the bank holiday weekend Sunday quiz, and we had quite a few teams on. And then I ended up finishing at about 10:30 and clocked out, got picked up, got back and got into my PJs, and then I finished writing my journal entry for today, put that away and got all clean uniform ready for work tomorrow. And I've just been watching a little bit of Vic of Dibley, and the jokes at the end always crack me up. And hope you guys have all had a great weekend, and all have a lovely new week ahead. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you for a new vlog coming very soon.